Hi guys, so today I'm going to share with you 4 crock pot recipes that I'm making this week. I didn't realize I had so many crock pot recipes scheduled, but you know what? It makes life so much easier, and it's starting to get cold here for fall, so it's like perfect crock pot weather. So I'm going to flip you around and show you our first recipe, which is beef stew. Alright, so I've got everything up. I cut up some more carrots. I had some of these baby carrots that I cut up, and it just wasn't enough, so I grabbed some more whole carrots and cut them up. I got a bunch of potatoes. I've got some celery. I already cut some of it last night, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think I'll have to cut those stalks. I didn't have a fresh onion, so I'm just using my frozen batch I had, which is fine. I got my beef stew mix, my stew beef, and then I got water to put in, and I got my crock pot going. I'm going to have it cook for 8 hours. I put it on already. I like it to get a little warm before I put stuff in. That's just me, but I just think this will be great. It'll be cooking all day. We had a tough weekend. We're all feeling like we got it's just allergies because it started raining, so our allergies are kicking in, and we just don't feel the best. I don't think we're sick, it's just allergies. Robert's like, Mom, my throat hurts a little. Jeffrey's been having a runny nose. I've had a runny nose. I think it's just allergies. It's that time of year, but I think a beef stew will be perfect for today. Alright, everything's in there. I just mixed it in. I feel like there's not enough water. I may add more later as it starts to cook down, because I know all the veggies will set off some water. But now we're just going to let that cook for 8 hours and smell it all day. And we really like a hearty stew, so that's why I have a lot of veggies and potatoes in there. Yeah, so we'll just cook that along and see if we need to add some water in a couple hours. And I am cooking it for 8 hours on low. I think I said that, but I like it to just cook all day. Alright, so the beef stew is all done. It actually ended up with enough water in it. I was checking it throughout the day. Oh my gosh, it smells so delicious and it looks so good. Definitely a great fall meal that you can just cook in your crock pot and just forget about it all day. Okay, recipe number 2 this week is we're going to make chicken tacos. This is by far one of my favorite, easiest meals. I use chicken. I'm actually using chicken breasts that are frozen. Yep, throw them right in there. I'm going to use probably almost... Well, this is a pretty big one. I'll probably use at least half of what's in there right now. And then just sprinkle some taco seasoning. I have this big one, so I'll use, what is it? Ground beef. Water. I'll probably use 4 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Throw it in the crock pot for 4 hours, and then it literally will fall apart. At least mine will in 4 hours, depending on how much chicken you have in there. I think I only have 2, maybe 3 breasts in there. So it won't be too much. Put on the slow cooker. I do high for 4 hours. And then you'll shred it. It'll actually fall apart in there. And yeah, make tacos. Alright, so I just took it out of the crock pot. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, I did have to go in and pull the chicken apart, which I usually do have to do sometimes. It did pull apart very easily, but I actually ended up using that whole jar of sauce because there was just so much, there was only a little bit left, and as you can see, it covered it pretty nicely. So I actually realized it's going to be a little bit before we have on dinner. I made this a little too early, which is fine. So I'm going to put this in the fridge, and then I'll heat it up later, and then we'll just put all the taco together, and I'll show you what it looks like, but it smells delicious. Here's
sour cream. What's that?
Okay, today we're doing baked ziti, but I'm actually going to bake it in the crock pot. So, we're going to do pasta. I didn't have ziti, so we're doing penne. 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground sausage. And then I've got 2 jars of the tomato pesto sauce, and then 1 Alfredo. And then, okay, hold on, Robert. And then just keep layering it in the crock pot. I'm doing it on high for 4 hours. And so let me start layering it, and then I'll show you. Okay, so I want to did another layer and showed you. I was trying to be kind of quiet. The kids are doing crazy stuff. So you're going to mix this all together. You can do any sausage. I have sweet sausage. I've done hot sausage. Any kind you want. And just keep layering is what I'm going to do until I've used everything up. And then I'll show you what it looks like. And then at the end, the last hour, I'm going to top it with mozzarella and let it cook some more for an hour. I've done a lasagna in here. That's why I'm thinking the baked ziti would be good. This is the first time, and my husband and my nephew were both like, ooh, that sounds really good in the crock pot. So, as you can see, I started at the bottom and I did a layer of sauce, and then I did the meat. I don't mix the meat in with the sauce, which is what I used to do, but this is the recipe from Brittany and Baby, or actually I think it was one more with Moro's, their other channel. But yeah. Alright, so here's how it looks. So I'm going to let it cook for 3 hours. Then I'm going to top it with mozzarella cheese and then cook it some more. But yeah, I mean, it's filled up my crock pot, and I think I have like a 6-quart is what this is. So we're gonna let this cook, and I'll show you when I put the cheese on. Okay, so here's what it looks like now. Oh my gosh, it smells delicious. So I am actually gonna add cheese. I'm actually gonna put almost this entire bag. I think I'm actually gonna put the entire bag of 8 ounces in. Plus I've got like this tiny bit left in here. We really like cheese, and I think, you know, I usually put a lot of cheese on it anyways, so it'll definitely be able to go in. But I've actually got an hour and 29 minutes left on high, and I'm actually going to put it on now because I think it might need a little bit longer to melt. And if anything, I can shut it off because I will check it in about an hour. Because I've never done it in here, I don't know. Everything was cooked. I want to say that. Well, take that back. The sauces were not heated up because I was like, well, why heat them up when they're going to be put in here and heat up? But the pasta was cooked. You know, the meats were cooked. So I'm really not so concerned about everything not being cooked. And it is hot in there. But yeah, so I'm going to put the cheese on now, and I'll show you what it looks like once the cheese is on there. All right, so here's it like with the cheese on it. I actually was kind of shocked. I thought it wasn't going to cover as much, but it actually made quite the nice cover. And like I said, there was just a little bit left in that other bag that I threw in because I just wanted to use it up. But as you can see, really good. I mean, we'll still probably put more cheese on. We'll probably put like Parmesan on when it's done. But I'm going to put the lid back on, let it cook, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. All right, guys, it's all done. My nephew did get into it already because he wanted to eat before he went to work. He works second shift, so oh my gosh, it looks and smells delicious. I can't wait to have some. Definitely came out great. And like I said, I did put the cheese in early, and I'm glad I did. It did take an hour and a half to melt the cheese just right. It's like just that perfect consistency. But as you can see, it didn't even burn to the side of the pan, which was part of my concern. So yeah, it looks awesome. I can't wait, and we'll definitely have leftovers. This like feeds us for a few days. All right, guys, so I have my 4th and final crock pot meal. Now this one, yes, you don't necessarily have to do in the crock pot. I just personally love to do my meatballs in the crock pot. So I have my crock pot going, and I actually have the delay on today because we have a very busy day. So I want to just have this going so that when we come home and it's time for dinner, it's going to actually be all ready. So I won't have to worry about it because we have a lot of errands. I got to go grocery shopping. So this is like perfect. I love the delay feature. So I'm going to have it on the slow cooker for 5 hours on low, but I have my delay on. So I'm just putting in an entire bag, and this is how many? 26 ounces of the Italian style meatballs. And I think I might need 2 jars of sauce for the whole bag. So I've just got 2 jars. They're both the same flavor, just different brands. So I'm going to dump it all in here and let it cook. Let it, you know, sit and then cook for the day. And then I'll show you how we do our subs later. I think I said we're making meatball subs. So I just pulled my rolls out. We also have some cheese to put on it too. So getting everything ready. All right, guys. So here's the last meal, the meatball sub. So I just put it in a sub roll with some provolone cheese, and then the meatballs, we just let them cook all day. They look so good and they smell delicious. So I cannot wait to eat. I hope you guys enjoyed this crock pot meal video, and I hope you guys don't stick around to see some more. Hit the subscribe and like button, and I'll see you in our next video.